Alright guys, I want to do this video to go over a few real important things. I figured I'd do it while I'm filling up my chicken's water. This water is for the birds. It's completely filtered like my water with these ProPure and Berkeys. I want to discuss the importance of purified water, having water storage, food, clean food, and having food storage and food production, as well as energy to power lights and things of that nature so that you have electricity. I mean, in your own home, wherever you're at. So those are, and obviously having shelter. So having a home is most critical. But then you want to have, well, it's arguable actually, because you can be without a home and, you know, still have clean water, but you can't be without clean water and in a home. So you got your filters. Now that can run you a few $100 to get yourself set up there, but you need to do that. And then you also need to have dry food stored away in 5-gallon buckets, Mylar sealed if you can, airtight, so that it lasts for 10, 20, whatever the years is that it lasts for. And it's good for a long time. And then you also need to have generators. So generators like a quiet generator, which I have videos of all this stuff I'm talking about. If you look through my videos, you'll see more specific videos going into details of these things, and that will help a lot also. But I want this to just kind of be a quick overview to cover the importance, because without it, you just really aren't going to last long. You aren't going to go far, and you're not going to thrive in a time when everyone is just trying to survive. And that's a big thing, because that puts you in a position where you have some control over your destiny at that point. That's good there. And then energy like the generator, that's not out there, it's right here. And then I have also other generators, regular ones that are on wheels, but this is a quiet generator that I did a video of just recently. And solar power is something you might want to hook up as well, which I'm about to set these up that I just got for, you know, it's winter here, and I have my lights are still on, thankfully, so I just haven't got to setting them up yet. But that's going to go on a ground mount in the yard. You can have them ground mounted or on your roof. I prefer the idea of ground mounting so I can move them around and stuff like that. And that's a lot of it. Having food production and growing your food. Yeah, you gotta have food, you know, coming in cycles so that you always have food growing, and you want the food growing for natural nutrition, healthiest nutrition, and surviving in a time of shit hits the fan. So that's another critical thing. So between the water and having your food growing, storing the water with like the 55-gallon blue drums here, which I have about 5 or 6 of, that's a real important thing. You can also learn to tap a shallow well, collect rainwater. Those are important too, techniques. There's ways you can even tap trees for water. So, you know, my neighbor over there, he's got a big lake behind his house. Me and him are on good terms. That's another source of water. So get your sources in check. If you got, you know, water holes nearby, make sure you know where they're at. You got a good route to them. You know, hunting for food. Get your hunting game on. If you don't even want to do that, at least have your hunting gear ready and the idea in mind that that may be something you have to do. And fish. And wild forage. So maybe get a book or 2 on foraging and what's edible and what's not in your area, as far as mushrooms and berries and nuts and even plants, greens. There's a lot of it that's good. So that's just a kind of a quick overview here of what's going on with preparations for, you know, the essentials. So hopefully that helps you all and you all get prepared. Get these filters while you can and prepare the food while you can, because supplies will run out. Just wanted to add a little something to this video, which I'm going to be doing soon as a project where I'm going to build a Faraday cage to protect important electronics. So that's another thing that you gotta really think about here, heading into this 2021 and beyond, is that we are going to potentially get zapped with EMPs or solar flares or CMEs, whichever it is that damages the electronics and fries small circuits in things. That's one thing you want to protect yourself from, because what good is all the solar power and all this generated power if the circuits are fried? So keep that in mind. You need to have a way to cook your food, your potatoes, your meat, your vegetables, whatever it is that you want to bake. You can get yourself a camp style oven that runs on propane. This is really nice. One goes up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. It runs off propane tanks. So I have that for emergency cooking, and I also have this wood burning stove that I haven't hooked up yet. So there's that too for cooking, that you can cook on the tops of these plates because they get real hot once you got wood in there burning. And you can also get smaller cooktops for prep bags. That's a thing too, so you can look into that for a backpack. There's little stove tops and little propane tanks, or whatever gas it is. It might not be propane, but there's those you can get to for your your bug out bags. But for in your home in a SHTF scenario, you're probably going to want yourself a wood burning stove for sure. And right there I have the stacks, and you can see my propane tanks there for the that oven in there. So that's a couple ways right there just to cook and have it sustainable. So that's very important. Another thing that you want to keep in mind too with the food production, I mean, that there is avocados, seeds. Those started from seed, and everything starts. You got to have a seed, so you got to have seeds, and you got to have those stored up and keep them cool in a real cool, dark place, and they will last a long time.